Good afternoon, everyone. We're just about to start. We are giving a few more seconds to our last speaker on stage to arrive. Okay, our last speaker is literally a few steps away, so we'll start in just a few seconds. Wonderful. Good afternoon to all online and in the room. Honorable ministers, UN Secretary General Special Envoy for Road Safety, Mr. Jean Todt, UN Executive Secretary of the UN Economic Commission for Europe, Ms. Tatiana Molchen, esteemed guests, those of you in the room and online, welcome to today's event. My name is Nneka Henry, and I am the head of the Secretariat of the UN Road Safety Fund, as well as the Office of the UN Special Envoy for Road Safety. Today's media event is brought to you by the United Nations Road Safety Fund, and it aims to push the hidden road safety crisis into the light and onto the global resilience agenda. Because resilience means nothing if we can't survive the journey. But unfortunately today, as most of you know, there are still over 1 million lives that are being lost on the roads today because of road crashes. And more than that, we have over 50 million people who are suffering often life-altering road traffic injuries. And yet this daily tragedy seems to be largely sidelined or barely registering as a global shock on the transport resilience agenda. And this is surprising because, as you know, apart from these numbers I've already recapped, road traffic deaths and injuries, it's the number one cause of death for children above 5 years old. So there is a cause for concern. It's killing more children than hunger and disease and war today. It's really a global shock, which is happening every few seconds, every single day. And this is costly not only from the human perspective, which we can all appreciate, but there's also a grave social cost as well as an economic cost that's attached to this particular crisis. And despite this number of shocks that are happening across the world, road safety still remains one of the most underfunded development issues. I'm joined here today by board members of the UN Road Safety Fund and also partners of the UN Road Safety Fund, who just a few days ago co-signed an article which was addressing some of these issues, the visibility and the awareness around road safety, as well as the fact that it's a historically underfunded topic. They're here with me today to further unpack some of these issues and to really highlight from their own respective roles in society how they see things. Without further ado, I will give the floor to the UN Secretary General Special Envoy for Road Safety, Mr. Jean Todt. I'll invite him to come up to the podium to give a few words and reflections. Mr. Todt, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Nneka. Excellencies, dear Tatiana, ladies, gentlemen, dear friends. It's my pleasure to be here to speak about road safety, but also an opportunity to thank all the team of the UN Road Safety Fund for its dedication over the last 7 years to try to put funding together to generate some programs, mainly in the developing world, where 90% of the 1.2 million deaths and of the 50 million injuries with full disability is concerned. And this fund was created, as I was mentioning, 7 years ago, with a strong support of private sector and of member states. Just to give you some figures, over the last 7 years, the fund has been able to put together $38 million. 24 million are coming from private sectors, and 12 million are coming from member states. But, I mean, of course, considering the intensity of the needs of road crashes around the world, we need much more. And I mean, it's a secret for nobody that everybody is looking for money. UN being a good example, and I can testify in my capacity of Special Envoy together with my friend, head of UNECE, Tatiana Molcian, saying that it is very important that all together we feel responsible to help the developing world. And it's something which has been discussed a lot this year, and that was one of the topics of the excellent fourth ministerial meeting which occurred in Morocco. To give you the intensity of road crashes, the best in the class are about 2 deaths for 100,000 population, compared to the worst in the class, which are about 35 for 100,000 population. So you see the discrepancy from 2 to 35. So clearly, we know that something needs to be done. Over the last 50 years, sensational progress has been done by the developed world. Unfortunately, the situation remains tragic in the developing world. It's something I've, unfortunately, the opportunity of witness when I do travel around the world, which was the case when I went in Madagascar, when I went in Vietnam last month, and in Thailand, and next week I will go to Djibouti and I will go to Kenya to speak with governments to address it. But clearly, we need funding. So this event today is important. It's important to remind that, to see what can be done. Yesterday, I mentioned the need, and it's something I had the opportunity also to speak in bilateral, how the best experience, the wealthiest, can help those who have the less experience, the poorest. I think it's very important also this example to give the hand to those who need. So it's around money, but it's also about experience, knowledge, sharing the best experience. So I really hope, and it's something which is very important because ITF gives us a platform to speak about that. To speak about that is not enough. A resolution is not enough. Actions are important. So I really hope that, this little group of leaders in the room will be able to come back home with thoughts, with ideas, which we are happy to share with the team of the fund. I keep saying that we need also to identify private funding. Can you imagine if 10% of the population in the world, 800 million people, will give $1 for road safety? 800 million against the 38 we have been able to get in 7 years. So we need creativity. So I really count on you, and on my side, believe me, I'm not going to give up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Todt, for your words of encouragement and also bringing us really to the reality of the situation and more importantly, for your continued commitment. It's now my pleasure to welcome to the stage the Executive Secretary of the UNECE, Ms. Tatiana Molshan. UNECE, in its own right, has road safety as one of its work streams vis-a-vis its member states. But more than that, UNECE took us in as the Secretariat of the Special Envoy, but also the Road Safety Fund, to work on this topic of road safety. So it's really my pleasure to welcome Ms. Molshan to the stage to have her reflections.
Thank you, dear colleagues. Thank you, Nneka. Thank you, our dear special envoy, Jean Todt. It's an honor to host this fund at UNECE. Why? Because it's not often that we get to do something that really brings so much benefit and reward. And it's really nice to see the results of this work. So you have always UNECE as strong supporter, not only as members of the board, together with these distinguished persons here and panelists, but really because it's hard work, and we appreciate very much being able to see the results of this work. I have 5 points that I would like to share with you. First, as Jean was mentioning earlier, about the financial crisis or lack of resources. So it's hard times. These are hard times, so we must spend smart as well. So this is the first lesson and the first message for me. And with these limited resources that we have now and rising challenges, it is more important than ever to invest in what works. And road safety works. This is proven, and it's one of the smartest investments. And investing in UN Road Safety Fund is not charity. It's really a strategic move to strengthen the system of the countries and secure safer mobility for all. Already you've heard about underfinancing for road safety, which is a major obstacle, in particular in low and middle income countries. And we have some data that shows that for a 10-year period, there is estimates that there is a need between 200 and 700 billion investments for the road safety in order to achieve the targets that we have. It seems a big amount, yes? It sounds scary, 200, 700 billions. But believe me, this is much less than the cost of road crashes, because this is 3 to 5% of GDP, because this is the cost that you have. So it's much less, and it's more convenient to invest. When it comes to my second point, I've been repeating it throughout these 2 days, UN, but not only UN, but in general, standards and regulations save lives. We do provide the global lead and some regulatory backbone for safer road vehicles and users, from helmets to seatbelt regulations, to safer vehicles, to shared traffic rules. So these are proven tools that accumulate our shared experience, and they are important. So when it comes to road safety, rules are important. But obviously, rules are important when they are implemented. So governments have a key role in securing that they are implemented. But also implementation needs financing. And we have seen how through the UN Road Safety Fund, there is a difference on the ground in terms of respecting regulations, both in terms of from the very basic things like road signs and traffic rules, to some more complex when it comes to the safety of cars, and also we've heard about the helmets. And my last message is that every dollar counts and multiplies. So we have already a lot of good examples throughout not only UNECE region, but also in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America, in the Middle East. And this is not an abstract return on investment, it's a real return on investments and return in lives. So all the support, and I'm looking forward to really boost this support practically with funding for the fund. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those reflections, Ms. Molshan. I think it goes without saying that there is a huge body of standards and regulations and laws that are already been proven to be effective in reducing road traffic deaths and injuries. And UNECE and the working parties of the UNECE have a big role to play in that with its member states and its experts. But as we've heard before from the two guest speakers, we need to go beyond just having them there. We actually need to implement them, to apply them. And so I think it's one of the reasons, I hope, why Minister of Slovenia has very kindly been to Marrakesh at the 4th Global Ministerial Conference, making a financial pledge to support the work of the UN Road Safety Fund to do exactly that, to help countries to build their capacity to implement and to apply these good practices. With this, I would love to give the floor to Honorable Minister of Transport from Slovenia, Ms. Alenka Bratušek, to share some reflections on why Slovenia is joining this partnership of the UN Road Safety Fund and becoming one of our newest advisory board members. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that I can tell you that Slovenia has achieved a significant reduction of road crash fatalities from 506 in 1994 to 68 road deaths in 2024. For a country with 2 million citizens, even 68 remains significant numbers. But I'm proud that this is the smallest number of road fatalities in Slovenian history. This achievement is even more remarkable considering that traffic volume has increased by 80% in last 20 years. Over the years, we have improved road safety through determination, patience, hard work, dedication, and of course, cooperation. I firmly believe that the key to our success lies in a personal approach, commitment, and passion. Starting with myself as the Minister of Infrastructure. I am and I will be personally engaged as ambassador of road safety. Even when decisions are difficult and unpopular, they must be made. Road safety is my top moral and political priority. There would be no road safety progress without strong political will and, of course, without funding. Financing road safety is always a challenge, even more so in the developing countries. With Slovenian contribution to the Global Road Safety Fund, we want to show that without international cooperation and support, there would be no road safety. We believe that Slovenians' contribution to the fund will be just one small piece in the mosaic of global road safety effort. We know that there are many pieces that are needed to complete the project. We trust that our contribution will be used wisely to address the most urgent road safety challenges. Last but not least, I would like to express my gratitude for a great honor that I could become a member of the advisory board of the United Nations Road Safety Fund. Thank you, Tatiana. At the end, let me express my deepest and most sincere admiration for the immense impact that United Nations Road Safety Funds has shown in addressing road safety as one of the most pressing social, economic, health and developmental issues of the present. And let me use this opportunity. I would like to invite other countries and also private companies to donate as Slovenia and help us to do the world or this world better and more safe. Thank you.
At this moment, we will invite the Minister and Mr. Todt representing the fund to sign the partnership agreement, just to finalize the pledge. It's good that we had the pledge, but now we want to get the ink on it. So we invite the signature to happen now. And afterwards, we will take more formal standing photos. So taking a little break from the speeches to have a little bit of a signing ceremony. Fantastic. So now we really are married. So this is great. So returning back to the esteemed minister's interventions on this important topic of funding and financing for road safety and raising the awareness on the road safety crisis, I would like to now turn to the ITF presidency, to Honorable Minister Juan Muñoz, just to share his own reflections on this topic, particularly as it pertains to this issue of road safety data collection, road data collection. We at the fund, we prioritize this topic because it is a core part of this discussion around investing in road safety. Because with that data that is happening about crashes that are happening in the countries, the member states are not only able to reform their policies, their laws and regulations, but they can also use the data to inform where to invest in terms of road infrastructure changes, in terms of where they need to put more enforcement officials and so forth. So it's a very critical topic for us, and we're happy to hear the reflections of Honorable Minister Muñoz on this. Mr. Muñoz, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I would like to start mentioning that for our administration, road safety is also a top priority topic. We understand it as a moral call. We count death in traffic up to 48 hours, and we know some people affected by an incident could die later. So the amount of people that die in Chile for an 18 million inhabitants is around 1,800. So in your rate that you said that the best students had 2, yeah, we are at 10. So it's not very good, but not as bad as those countries you mentioned that were at 35 deaths for every 10,000 inhabitants. So there's still, of course, a lot to do. And we are working, understanding that this is a topic where there's no silver bullet. So there's no one, when you hear somebody that says that you can solve this with one idea, that would be silly. This is something that we really have to address very holistically. Here there are issues of education, there's issues of regulation and enforcement, and of course, technology helps. The vehicles are safer than they were 20 years ago. We've worked also in infrastructure. And that's why, even though our country has been kept pretty stable, this around 1,800 people dying per year, if we take the rate, considering that in the last 30 years, the number of people, the traffic, as Minister Alenka was saying, has grown so much. We have our fleet has grown 6-fold, and last year we had, similar to Slovenia, the smallest number of people dying in our street, which was 1,435, something like this. So I think it has been quite an achievement, and we're very happy to see that, but we need to keep that number decreasing. And here it's very important to have data, and data is in this. In a country as long as Chile, it's not as simple. The incident, the sinisters happen, 2 out of 3 people dying this happen in rural areas. Only 1 out of 3 happen in the cities. And in the rural areas, sometimes it's hard to get the data online fast. This is an area where we need to work more. where the country needs to have a much better database, and that's a task that we need to address. We rely a lot on what policemen report, and the reports we get are not always as detailed as we would need to make better public policies. We have worked very hard in improving the regulation on road safety. We have approved a no texting while driving law, a road coexistence law, so that bikers and cars and buses and trucks can share the road in a better way so that it's safe for everyone. We also had a law that penalized illegal street racing, which is sometimes common in areas in the country where you have people racing just for fun and people gathering around the race, which is extremely dangerous. The topic where I feel more proud is that we approved a law we call CATI, which stands for control with radars, speed control, automated control. And that's very good because it would allow us to really enforce the speed limit, which is probably one of the main reasons of a crash to be fatal, is that some of the vehicles exceed the maximum speed that was allowed. So I think that the CATI law will really allow Chile to drop significantly once it starts to be enforced. We also have been creating traffic calming zones, especially around schools. So that, and here we should also recognize the role of the private sector that has helped us for this to be implemented. And it's good when one school starts doing it because other ones would like to see the same in their own neighborhood. And finally, in terms of data, something that is very important is that we are implementing this year digital driving license with a QR code that anybody checking their driving license will realize if the driving license is false, has been adulterated, or if it's really a correct driving license. And it will also allow us to share information online between different municipalities so that somebody applying for a driving license with a terrible record doesn't get one. So in this case, data will also help us improve. This is, as I said, this is a topic that we think is key for the country. We cannot keep allowing to fill a stadium of people died every 20 years. This is really terrible, and especially when you think that we lose like one kid of 12 years or less a week, which is it's really terrible. So thanks for the invitation. As Minister Bratušek, I've also been invited to be an advisory member of the United Nations Road Safety Fund, so we will be meeting there. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Minister Muñoz. So, I mean, we heard a range of interventions from Chile showcasing how, investing in smart road safety measures can actually have the results that we want. In the case of Chile, we saw the reduction in having the lowest number ever, or in a long number of years. So this is exactly the kind of work that we are fostering and encouraging and promoting at the UN Road Safety Fund. Moving from road safety data, we also do quite a bit of work on many other topics, but vehicle regulations is one of them. We have a global program now. It's called the Safer and Cleaner Used Vehicles Program, where we work with member states to build their capacity on really improving the safety level of used vehicles in their countries, starting from the importation of those cars and going all the way to inspection. There are a number of issues related to that, but I won't delve into them and allow our next speaker, Honorable Minister from Ghana, Minister Bakui, to join us to the stage to share his reflections on this topic from the perspective of Ghana. Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Madam, for having me to contribute to this very important topic that is being discussed here. We all, before getting to this auditorium, had to travel And we did that from our hotels through road to this place. Meaning that the topic under discussion is very important. And we all agree that over the years, road traffic or road transport has played a key role in contributing to our economies. For any economy to thrive, the need to look at the road sector is very, very important, because that is the sector that will move persons and goods to wherever they want to go. We in Africa, and for that matter Ghana, the motorization that we have is very low. But when it comes to road traffic offenses and accidents and crashes and injuries, we are always having higher numbers as compared to where we have many vehicular traffic. This is because we lack the needed resources and the technical expertise to be able to handle our road traffic offenses and also to give proper education to our road users. So the call for road safety fund is one in the right direction, that we will all need to collaborate, bring ideas and expertise together, and see how we can help member countries to be able to get out of this canker. That every year, thousands and millions of people are either killed through road traffic accidents or are injured through and can no more contribute their quota to their national development. In Ghana, the lead agency that is responsible for road safety is called the National Road Safety Authority. They are responsible to enforce, to educate, and ensure that everybody complies with all the regulations that we have. But they always do that with little funding. And that makes it difficult for them to be able to enforce and also to be able to keep the kind of accidents or fatalities that we have on our roads. And we see this forum to be one of the areas that we need to join hands and collaborate with other member councils to see as to how we can use technology, we can use education, and we can use our expertise to collaborate with other countries to bring down the kind of crashes and fatalities that we record every year on our roads. We in Ghana are introducing what we call TraffiTech. This is a system that will be able to record and capture wrong or drivers who wrongfully use the road or misbehave or overspeed on our roads that leads to accident. And this is a software that will capture your plate and already send a message to you. We have started doing a pilot basis that we send caution to people. And very soon, by close of year, we will launch and implement it, that fines will be made at spots. And for about three occurrences, your license will be withdrawn from you and you will not be allowed to use our roads, because we have realized that if we are not punitive enough, we don't punish enough, careless driving will continue to destroy the gains that we are making from our roads. We, as policymakers, we as stakeholders, it is time for us to assess the UN's decade of action in road safety and reassess and analyze what they've done over the years and see that what is it that we can add and improve upon what they've done over the decade. Some of our countries have succeeded in bringing down the fatalities. But other countries, like the African countries that do not have the needed resources and technology, continue to suffer road crashes, and that leads to the destruction of both humans and property. It is only good that as a people of this world, we come together and see how we will collaborate. You might have been successful in your country. It is still your responsibility to come to the aid or to the support of other countries that are in dire need of your expertise, that are in dire needs of your resources, and that are in dire needs of your collaboration to be able to bring or reduce to the minimum the kind of road crashes and accidents that we record on a yearly basis. We in Ghana are committed to collaborate and join hands or forces with other agencies and sister countries in ensuring that we improve upon our road fatalities and help other developing or other countries in need to be able to implement those policies that have been implemented in other countries and that has yielded the desired results. We are grateful that you gave us this platform, and it is our hope that together we will be able to work and contribute our little quota in helping to reduce road traffic offenses that leads to so many crises and fatalities on our roads. I want to use this opportunity to thank you and to say that Ghana is willing to collaborate, to cooperate, and to partner with any agency, any sister country, and anybody that is interested in reducing road traffic offenses and accidents. I thank you for this opportunity and pray and hope that we will all contribute our little support in making this achieve or making this a success. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. I think it's very important not only to hear about the progress that is being made in countries, in Chile, for example, in Slovenia, also in Ghana, but also to really understand the challenges and the reason behind why the UN Road Safety Fund was set up in the first place, that there is absolutely gaps occurring, particularly in Africa, particularly in Asia Pacific, where we need to close them to help member states to improve on the safety on their roads. I recognize that we have given the floor to member states, members of the board, but the private sector is playing a very important role in the work of the UN Road Safety Fund. To date, they really are the largest donor to the fund, globally speaking. While we have a few of them here, Honda, for example, we also have Autoliv, we really wanted to give a role to the private sector to speak, and the Michelin Group, the Michelin Corporate Foundation have been a founding donor to the UN Road Safety Fund. They are an active member of our advisory board as well. And really a strategic partner in the work that we're doing. So we're really pleased that although we could have chose from a few other donors, that we do have Michelin with us here, and in the form of Pierre-Martin Huet, who is the Sustainability and Impact Director from Michelin. So I'd like you to come up, share some words on what Michelin is doing, why you're with the fund and the UN on this topic of road safety. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nneka. Thank you, ministers and special envoy. I'm very honored to represent the private sector because I think the private sector has really a key role to play in this road safety challenge. Road safety has been at the heart of Michelin's strategy for the last 135 years. Because we're in the mobility sector and because we believe we are committed to protect human life in everything we do. And road safety stakes are huge, as Special Envoy Mr. Todt reminded us before. And here we're not talking financial stakes, we're talking human lives. And for us, it is key that we protect human life in everything we do. It starts by providing the safest products on the market. And here I just want to raise your awareness of the critical role the tire plays in road safety. Just to give you a small example, if you ride on a road on a rainy day at 80 kilometers per hour, you have a kid crossing the road. As Minister Muñoz reminded us, unfortunately it happens quite often. You have to brake. The difference in braking distance between a Michelin tire and a low-performing tire is around 20 meters. It's often the difference between life and death. So the tire has a critical role to play, and we're doing our best again to provide the safest products to the market. Now we recognize as a company that there's no silver bullet. We need to play as a team on many different levels, infrastructures, vehicle safety, behaviors, data. if we want to win this game, it's really a team game. And this is why we've been involved in the UN Road Safety Fund since the beginning. And we're very committed to support those impactful projects that can make a difference on the ground. And we urge other companies from the private sector to join the Dream Team in order to have an impact, because we, as people, as human beings, we need really a change and an accelerated change in this domain. So thanks for the opportunity to speak today, and hope many candidates will join in this race. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So that concludes our round of esteemed speakers. Just wanting to say that we normally come here to the Leipzig event to launch our annual report. This year we made a change, and we are going to be launching our annual report on the 2nd of June in Bangkok during the UNECE Global Road Safety Week, to be really among some of the key member states that we have been supporting, and hearing their voices about the support that we've been providing and the changes that they have been making in their countries because of it. And so we're here really today to, in light of the theme of this year's conference, to really put on the face of it very, very visible that this is a global shock if there ever was one. Every few seconds, every single day, this shock is occurring across so many different communities, across so many different families and countries. And we wanted to share with you what we have been working on to address this shock as member states, as private sector, as international organization, as global advocates. And we hope that, as been encouraged by all of our speakers, that you will come to us to learn more about this topic, to do more about this topic with us, and for us on our behalf, as we need multipliers. With this, I'll just see if the Special Envoy would like to give any last statement or comment, or if, no, not at this moment. Is there anyone with a burning question or comment from the audience before I close? No, not the case. Okay, so with that, I thank you all. We're going to do a family photo at the end, but thank you for your participation in the room and online, and wishing you a good rest of the afternoon.